Hi, welcome to Astral-TecT.V. Today we're in Wombourne, one of the most haunted villages in the Midlands. It's actually based in Staffordshire, South Staffordshire. I'm going to take you around Wombourne today, tell you the stories, tell you about the haunted locations and a lot of the facts just around Wombourne, show you some of the places too. This is Wombourne Church, it's set in Wombourne village. It's one of the oldest buildings in the village. It also has paranormal connections with its own spirit in the churchyard, which I'm going to take you up. Its oldest part of the building is that tower. That was believed to have been built in the Norman times, with the brickwork recently being updated and all the pointing being redone. Beautiful church. Unfortunately, I can't take you inside because inside is copyrighted and you're not allowed to film inside without church's permission and paying for the copyright. So I'll take you on a journey outside and around. This is the front graveyard with some of the really old names, some of the oldest graveyards. See, this was 1877. Some of the names have been rubbed off on some of these graves. I'll just take you for a quick walk around here. See, this one, the names have been falling off. This is so old. Parts of the plastered names are coming off. One next to it says 1844, so this could be around, I think it says 1829 on that one there. I believe it says 1829. Yep, so that's how old some of these. And back in the day, graveyards were built on top of graveyards, so some of the ones below these could be even older than that, which would be amazing because, as you just seen, that was 18 something, that graveyard. I'm going to take you over to the other side of the graveyard with the war memorial and some of the other older graveyards as well, some of the older graves. Here's the war memorial. This was for people from Wombourne who lost their lives in the war. See the names there? I should just scroll down the names in quote, just for memory of those from Wombourne that gave their lives in the war. And the list goes right down here. That's the war memorial in Wombourne, and the war memorial says, "To the glory of God and in the memory of the men of Wombourne who gave their lives for their country in the Great War, 1914 to 1919, and the Second War, 1939 to 1945. Even the kids have left little memorial stones here in the cemetery. We should remember our past and the people that gave their lives. So that's the war memorial in Wombourne churchyard. And now we'll go back to why we're here. I shall take you up to the back of the churchyard and the hill and some of the spots where spirit have been seen. Right, this is an area of the church at the back of the church with the old medieval door here behind me. I'm just taking you and showing you some of the parts of Wombourne as well that a lot of people haven't seen or you don't get to see very often. So come follow me round and I'll show you some more of this churchyard. Moving on from the medieval door, I'll take you for a walk around. This is the back end of the church. There's an alleyway here that leads up to the vicarage. This is the back entrance to the vicarage that comes down to the church, the path that the vicar used to use many times to come and hold his Sunday service. bit of the area that people don't see a lot because this is off the beaten path. There's a few big old graves here, 1820 to 1904. That's a big one. These must be important people to the church to be buried here, because this is an area not often seen by the general public. It's also one of the most interesting areas because some of the work on the stone is really, really good. Nowadays, these stones would cost thousands nowadays. This one's so old the writings come off. Here's the great tower, the clock tower, said to be the oldest part of the church, possibly dating back to the Normans, and recently repointed and made to look nice. Walking around the corner up to the back of the cemetery, which is where a lot of the spiritual and the apparition has been seen and reported. This is the old cottage next to the church. This is now a place where some of the pensioners come for the day, get to meet others and generally talk, have a couple of hours, a good couple of hours of socialising. Here is the cremation area of the church. Now this path that runs is one of the areas where apparitions are seen here at Wombourne Church. This is the path where the gatekeeper, the spirit known as the gatekeeper, has been seen. Every churchyard has a gatekeeper. It's said, folklore says that the spirit of the first person buried in the graveyard will be, his soul will watch over everyone else that's buried in this churchyard or in a Pacific churchyard, and they're all round the country. Every graveyard has one. I myself have seen a spirit shadow a few times at this location, and it always feels as if it's questioning you, as if it's questioning what you're doing here. Who are you? And what do you want on the site? I believe that could be the gatekeeper. It's not negative, it's just more inquiring as to what we're doing. Joining me today as well here is Caroline, part of Astral-TecT.V. At the minute she's doing all my fancy artwork and photos, so the photos you'll see on this are all Caroline's work. There's Caroline. Oh, yeah. She's responsible for all the photos and the artwork for this video. She's also had stuff happen paranormal wise inside this churchyard. On a personal level, I saw a spirit here dressed in old army attire, and I later found out that that spirit was connected to Caroline, who you've just seen. It was one of her relatives, and he was the uniform that I described. He was that was his uniform. I never met the man, so there's no way I could have known that. And even then, when Caroline knew him, there's no way that I could have known that. Loads of... It's a beautiful place, really quiet, really atmospheric. This is about the spot that I saw that apparition that was connected to Caroline and myself. He's actually laid to rest here, but I don't want to zoom in because I don't want to name people. That's why I haven't zoomed in on graves too much, out of respect for the people that might be related to him. Here's the bench as well that I sat down as a 16-17 year old when I saw what I believe to be the gatekeeper Big tall spirit, long dark shadow. Couldn't make out any features, just a shadow figure. And it, like I said, it was giving out the feeling as if to say, what are you doing here? Haven't seen him since. And hopefully I won't. No disrespect intended to him. So this is Wombourne churchyard. We're now going to head out of the gate and then take you to the next part of haunted Wombourne. The name of this gate commemorates Mr. John Aspin. He was the head teacher of Wombourne Village School, which is now known as Benedict's Bitchcoff School, Wombourne. So I'm walking down Wombourne railway station at the minute. This is a site that's well known in the local area to be paranormal active. It's a site that didn't see much traffic in regards of trains, because it's just a branch line off the main Great Western line that's still in existence in Wolverhampton. This was eventually bought by the Earls of Dudley. He had a station, private station, further down the path. This is the Wombourne station for the village. I'm going to show you now. The train is heard a lot along this path. It's heard quite regularly, just as a sound, as a playback. There isn't any actual recorded deaths during the building of this railway, but there is an incident that involved a young lad who had an accident when he was emptying one of the carts, and he was underneath one of the carts, and he was emptying some of the rubbish off the tracks. Here you can see is the railway station itself. I'll go back to that story in a minute. I'll just show you the Wombourne railway station. The spirit figures have been seen on this front. This is Wombourne railway station. It's one of the most haunted locations in Wombourne. It's really active. It's been recorded. Loads of stuff have happened along here and on the station behind me. On the station behind me, I've caught images of what looks like someone pulling a trolley along the platform. Back in the day, they used to do this. It was the only way to move luggage off the trains and to move it about was obviously on great big trolleys with big brass wheels, and they were heavy to pull by themselves, let alone with luggage on. So maybe that's what I caught. It very much looked like it. I myself didn't catch it. It was caught by a team member. It's an interesting picture. It was hard to disprove whether it was someone or not. Who knows? It could have just been an abnormality, but I think it was much like a person. Also, EVPs have been caught down here and down on the bridge further down with voices. I asked them once if the spirit being like me and another person being there, and it told us to leave. Quite clearly, quite loudly, it told us to leave. So we did. That was an interesting one. I've had Ouija boards that have been used up here by myself and other teams, and that gets a big hit. Also, interestingly enough, on one of the EVPs, I got a dog barking. Now, there are houses around this area, so it could have been just a dog barking. But interestingly enough, afterwards, while I was doing the research, there was an old photo taken of this area, and this is the area where I took the EVP. And there's a little dog in the photo on the platform behind me, walking along with the station master. So interesting, maybe coincidental, but maybe not. Who knows? Who knows how the spirit world works? But that was quite a cool capture if that tied in with the photo. So that was cool. Yep, this is Wombourne Railway. Now a cafe, a very busy cafe. Staff also have seen things happening here inside the building. Little remains of the water tower at Wombourne Station. These water towers were important because when the trains stopped, they were refilled, their tanks with the water for the steam to power the trains. The water towers were made of steel, and most of them were taken down after the stations closed. This was a health and safety issue because they didn't want them falling down, and they cost a lot of maintenance just to keep running. So a lot of them were taken down. As you can see, a lot of this area is now woods, with bits and pieces just of the stands left and some of the brickwork left around from where these big great towers once stood. This wooded area we're looking at now was originally the other platform at the station. I remember it still being just grass at one point, and you could walk up and down with benches on. Now it's just woodland covered by these trees, with very little to say that it was part of the platform. If you walk around, you can see the odd bits of bricks that formed it, but like I said before, it's just a woodland now, and it was originally the original platform for this station. Walking down the back of the railway cafe, the former railway station, this area has had reports of negative feelings around here. I myself have never experienced anything, but there are reports of a negative energy around here. It's now a dog training school at the minute, but this would have been a siding when it was the railway, working railway. This would have been the sidings. Some of the old woodwork from the sidings are still here, as you can see. The feeling of negativity around here has been quite bad, some people have recalled. I'm walking around now, and at the minute it don't feel too bad, but I can imagine it would be quite nasty at night. I'm not sure whether I'd want to walk around here at night, but yes, this is where they feel a dark energy around the back of here. As you can see, it's just a car park at the minute. I'm going to take you up over to the railway now as we walk onto the railway and down onto the actual cafe. You can't get onto it because obviously it's a business at the minute. I'm going to take you looking back. That's the car park and the former sidings for the railway. Walking onto the main railway line now, looking down. The train's been recorded, the phantom train has been heard up and down these tracks. And maybe it's a playback. The actual service here didn't last long as a passenger service. It was relatively short because it was unsuccessful being out in the middle of nowhere, so to speak. So the actual passenger service. If you're currently liking this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like, so you'll be the first in line to get the new stuff that we put online just for you. They continued using this as a commercial line for transporting commercial stuff, freight. The last train was actually running in the 70s. This is Bratch pumping station, a haunted site. The story tells of a little lad that was hurt while they were putting in some of the big turbines in this location. His ghost is supposed to be inside this building. A lot of reporters have blamed him for messing with some of the pressure valves in there, and some of the items in there have gone missing. He gets the blame. No one knows what his name is, but it's fact that back in Victorian times, people did use children for a lot of the small fiddly work where they couldn't get under items or they couldn't get under machinery. So it was common use for kids to be used, and the kids being killed while they were at work led to the law being changed and altered so that it was illegal to use child labour in the future, which that law still stands now. But yes, this is Bratch Locks in Wombourne with its haunted child. Well, I hope you liked a haunted Wombourne special here at Astral-TecT.V. If you did and you want to see more of these videos, more of these live stuff, make sure you subscribe to us, follow us on Twitter. We're also on Facebook, Astral-Tec Paranormal Investigation and Neil Sinnett Paranormal Investigator. Don't forget to check them sites out. Also check out Caroline Cox Paranormal Investigator and Astral-TecT presents Haunted Dolls. They're both on Facebook too, so go over, check them out. Don't forget to subscribe before you go, and we'll see you in the next one. Happy hunting.